So at the Glasgow Buddhist Centre over the last couple of years, we have been looking at the paramitas. So each year we take one paramita as a theme. So this year, crazily enough, we have been looking at virya, the perfection of energy. And so we thought we would just introduce the paramitas generally in this series. And so I'm just going to say a little bit about what are the paramitas for those who might not be familiar. So the paramitas are generally talked about as, so para is translated as crossing over. So they're qualities that we cultivate in order to go from this side of the stream, which is the sort of mundane, unenlightened side of the stream, and then crossing over to the enlightened, awake side of the stream. So they're qualities that we cultivate in order to do that, yeah? So they're also talked about as transcendent perfections. So what is it that we are transcending? So what is it that we're transcending as we're cultivating and bringing into our awareness more of these paramitas, these ways of crossing over? So what we're transcending is this limited, narrow sense that I am the center of the universe, yeah? So that we work for these egocentric kind of goals. Now, this isn't about, not having boundaries and not being safe, but it's about these ideals that, these ideas of this egocentric kind of grasping after what will only serve us and not caring about all the other people out there. Well, that is the cause of so much suffering in the world, both ours and others. So these perfections, these paramitas, are about transcending that narrow sense of self. So the paramitas are both a path, so it's about cultivating and bringing them more into our experience of ourselves. So the paramitas are dana, generosity, sila, ethics, kshanti, patience or forbearance, virya, the perfection of energy, samadhi, meditation, and prajna, wisdom, so the cultivation of, or the perfection of wisdom, the prajna paramita. So it's about this path of compassion and wisdom, yeah? So then it's also about the goal of the perfections, yeah? So these paramitas being ultimately perfected in the path of the bodhisattva. So what is a bodhisattva? So a bodhisattva is a being whose aspiration is to wake up in order to be of full and complete service to all beings, yeah? To aid all beings in their own awakening, path of awakening, yeah? So these perfections are the ways that the aspiring bodhisattva trains in order to become the bodhisattva in realization, yeah? So a great image of a bodhisattva is this image of Avalokiteshvara, which some of you might be familiar with, which is, there's many different aspects to the symbolism of Avalokiteshvara, but the most kind of obvious one when you see this is this 1,000-armed Avalokiteshvara. So 1,000 arms with eyes in their palms, and so they can see all the suffering in the world, and they can respond in whatever way is needed with these 1,000 arms and all these implements and all these different ways, all these different tools that they can use to respond to the suffering in the world. So that is the path and the goal of the bodhisattva